Yeah, so just in previous session we had discussed a little bit. Prior to we start, we just have a small little Mangalacharan. Hopefully, some of you know, some of you don't know. So I will just speak out the Mangalacharan, and one by one, then you can also just speak out. Okay. So Om Agyan Timirandhasya. You can repeat after me, possible. If you have, yeah, you can turn on your audio. That will be nice. Thank you so much. One more devotee joining. Oppo double one Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Say Subrata.
Hare Krishna. Oh, you are here, Subrato. Okay.
Subrata.
Better you can change your name from Oppo and
Oh,
from Subrato to Subrato.
okay, Prabhu.
Okay, and it will be nice also that you could turn off your video. Okay, so we are actually in the process of class, so we are now going to recite Mangalacharan. Please join us. Om Ajnana
Om Ajnana
Timirandhasya
Timrandhasya
Jnananjana
Jnananjana
Shalakaya
Shalakaya
Chakshur Unmilitam
Chakshur Unmitam
Yena
Yena
Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि
Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama.
So yes, so quickly we'll go ahead. Welcome Puranjay. After so many days we have Puranjay Prabhu also back. So today's discussion is about three subject matters. They are absolute truth, consciousness, and Brahman. Okay, so this is the particular mind map that is there in front of you. I hope that you have read that particular excerpt, that 2-minute excerpt I gave you. So it's very wonderful concept there. So Srila Prabhupada has spoken the whole Bhagavad Gita in his introduction, and that particular introduction has been taken out separately as one book, of a small book that's called Introduction of Bhagavad Gita. So all that, I mean, the essence of Vedanta philosophy is actually put into introduction itself. So this is the beauty of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is a empowered Vaishnava coming directly from his spiritual world, and he is into his utter emergency that he want to give Krishna consciousness at first sight, first hand. So any book he starts with oozing devotion coming out from his Srila Prabhupada's purport. And anybody actually reads those purports, so he becomes immediately affected by the pure devotional fervor of Srila Prabhupada. So I request all of you, so for some time being, you can mute your mic as well as our videos, so that we could go ahead very smoothly. Okay, so some few things, like in previous session, few things we remember. We discussed. If you remember anything, you can write down in the chat box. It will be very nice. So we are discussing quite a few things in previous session about the subject matters what is discussed in Bhagavad Gita. भगवद गीता में जो चीज हम लोग डिस्कस किया, मतलब जो 5 चीजें हैं उसके बारे में चर्चा किया था. So still, if you know that what are the 5 things, those 5 things also you can just write down for refreshment. What are those things we discussed? Okay, so I request some of you to just please write down chat box. I am seeing some of the things are that okay. They're all old things. Okay, so we are discussing 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita's Iswara, Kala, Prakriti, Karma, and Jiva. These are 5 things. There are 5 things discussed. Puranjay writing Jiva, Iswara, Prakriti, Kala, Karma. Thank you so much, Puranjay. So these 5 things we discussed in this. कर्मा इज टेम्पोररी, रेस्ट एवरीथिंग इज परमानेंट। कर्म को छोड़ के सब कुछ क्या है, परमानेंट है, इट्स ऑल इटर्नल। बट कर्मा ऑफ लिविंग इट इज ऑल ऑफ अस, हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं, उसके फल और कर्म का जो क्रम चल रहा है ये भी टेम्पोररी है। तो दिस इज ऑल मिक्स्ड इनटू एब्सोल्यूट ट्रुथ दैट वी शैल बी डिस्कसिंग। सो हम लोग तीन चीज डिस्कशन करेंगे आज। Mainly, what is this consciousness, absolute truth, and complete realization of absolute truth. So these three things we will be discussing today. Okay, yes. So what is consciousness? चेतना क्या है? तो Srila Prabhupada tells into that चेतना मतलब कि अहम का जो भाव है उसको चेतना कहते हैं। चेतना मतलब कि जिस चीज को अगर आप टच करो, डिस्टर्ब करें, तो उसमें अहम का भाव हो, सेंस ऑफ परसेप्शन हो, सेंस ऑफ कॉग्निजेंस हो, तो उसको क्या कहते हैं, चेतना कहते हैं या फिर कॉन्शियसनेस कहते हैं। तो आई एम, कॉन्सेप्शन ऑफ आई एम इज व्हाट इज कॉल्ड चेतना, कॉन्शियसनेस। तो ये कॉन्शियसनेस जो है जीवों के पास ही होता है, सोल के पास ही होता है। तो दो तरह का कॉन्शियसनेस बताया गया है, परवर्टेड कॉन्शियसनेस एंड ट्रू नेचुरल कॉन्शियसनेस। दो तरह की चेतना है, एक उल्टी चेतना और एक सही की चेतना। तो दोनों का अलग अलग कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस है। उल्टी चेतना का अलग कॉन्सिक्वेंस है और सच्ची चेतना का, जो प्राकृतिक हमारा सभी जीवों का जो प्राकृतिक बेसिक फंडामेंटल जो आधार है चेतना का, उसका अलग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है। तो Srila Prabhupada she very plainly writes what is perverted consciousness. उल्टी चेतना क्या है? उल्टी चेतना यही है। I am in class. Okay, I am the creator and the enjoyer. Can you shut this door? So this is called perverted consciousness. Perverted consciousness मतलब कि मैं हूँ सृष्टा और मैं हूँ enjoyer. तो सभी लोगों के पास अक्सर इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में ऐसी ही चेतना पाई जाती है। चेतना, द कॉन्शियसनेस ऑफ दैट आई एम द क्रिएटर एंड आई एम द एंजॉयर, एंड हेंस आई एम द क्रिएटर एंड आई एम बिकॉज ऑफ दैट आई एम द एंजॉयर। सो सबके पास पाई जाती है, छोटे से छोटे कीड़े से लेके बड़े से बड़े देवताओं तक ये चेतना पाई जाती है। चेतना, द कॉन्शियसनेस ऑफ बीइंग द क्रिएटर और एल्स बीइंग द एंजॉयर। ओके, तो छोटे से छोटे चीजों में देख सकते हैं, जैसे कि छोटा सा कीड़ा अगर सपोज लो, छोटा सा माइक्रोब भी है, तो दैट माइक्रोब आल्सो थिंक दैट आई एम द एक्चुअली द कंट्रोलर एंड प्रोटेक्टर ऑफ अ डोमेन ऑफ स्पेस इन व्हिच आई एम देयर। So this is actually very important to understand this particular concept of perverted consciousness. So perverted consciousness in which people they think that they are the controllers and they are the enjoyers. तो इसका consequence क्या होता है? They keep thinking like this that they are the creator and they are the enjoyer, but ultimately they end up having something else. They end up getting a lot of miseries. And this conception, this chetana, this consciousness keep them rotating from different bodies. And what is true natural consciousness? ये है perfectly opposite of the perverted one. क्या है वो? I am created and enjoyed. So do you feel like this is artificial? How many of you feel like we have not been created? Our body has been created, our eye has been created, our consciousness, our brain, everything has been created by someone, has been created by the power of material nature into the womb of our mothers. And that is happening by the supreme will of Krishna and by the power of nature. So in this way, we all are created. There is nothing, something artificial to think about. But most of the time, people that don't think about it. They think that they have just dropped down from the sky and they are just like that. And they are so and so forth and their particular the name. And they simply lose their identity, that from where they actually belong and how they have come here, and nothing they remember. So this is the first thing, that is, we are created and we are enjoyed. And this is further one step ahead to understand that we are not enjoyed, but we are enjoyed. Enjoyed by whom? Because we always think that we are enjoyed. We forget the person who is a perfect enjoyer. A perfect enjoyer is one person only. His name is Narayana or Krishna. You can see directly the photos of Narayana, if you'll find. Now, he is the person, when he is there in material world, then only he is simply enjoying. The topmost thing of enjoyment मतलब क्या होता है? क्या होता है? वो आराम से घर पे रहेगा, आराम से बेड पे सोएगा, है ना? और उसके सर्वेंट लोग उसका मसाज करेंगे. So you can see the Karana Dakshai Vishnu, Shiro Dakshai Vishnu. उनका बस एक ही काम है. क्या काम है उनका? सोना ही काम है. आंख को हल्का सा बंद करके सोते रहते हैं. और माता लक्ष्मी कंटिन्यूअसली इटरनली उनका पैर दबा रही है. उनकी इच्छा मात्र से ही पूरा सृजन होता है, पालन होता है और विनाश हो रहा है. बस इच्छा मात्र से ही हो रहा है. सारे लोग बस घूम रहे हैं अपने कर्मों के अनुसार, बहुत सारी क्रियाओं को अंजाम दे रहे हैं. And the whole setup is working just by his desire, but he is simply sleeping. I mean, sleeping is the topmost form of enjoyment in material world. But in spiritual world, the topmost form of enjoyment is not sleeping. The topmost form of enjoyment in spiritual world is rasa, or the relationship, the eternal relationship of Krishna with living entities. So वो है spiritual में. इसलिए हम लोग देखते हैं supreme enjoyer है, नारायण से भी बड़ा enjoyer है, उसका नाम है Krishna. His name is Krishna, and he is enjoying with his wonderful devotees in spiritual sky, Golok Vrindavan. So he is the enjoyer and we are enjoyed by him. But matter of fact, we should know it, that जो enjoy किए जाते हैं enjoyer के द्वारा, उनको enjoyer से भी ज्यादा खुशी मिलती है, उनको ज्यादा आनंद मिलता है. So this is actually the chemistry of rasa, which is found in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Enjoyer is getting less enjoyment than the enjoyed. Okay, I mean, suppose simple, I mean, there is no male and female here. I'll tell you, when a male unites with the female gets more enjoyment than male. Similarly, Supreme Godhead is actually supreme enjoyer, and all those living entities we are out here and in the spiritual world, they are enjoyed by the Supreme Lord. They actually partake more in more enjoyment and happiness than Krishna. That's why to get that enjoyment, Krishna had to come down sometimes as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being his own devotee. So this is mentioned in Brahma Vaivarta Purana, how Lord Supreme Enjoyer, in the pursuit of getting the topmost enjoyment of being enjoyed, he comes down as his own devotee, as Lord Chaitanya. So this is the particular concept, we must know this. And of course, Srila Prabhupada gives this very famous example of stomach and a part of the body. पेट और हमारे शरीर का पूरा जो पार्ट्स है, तो खाना हम लोग पेट में मुख में डालते हैं तो पेट को ही जाता है अल्टीमेटली. और पेट का क्या है? कोई काम नहीं करता, बस बैठा रहता है. काम करता है, पचाता है, पचामी अन्नम चतुर्विधम. लेकिन अगर दूर से देखा जाए तो कुछ नहीं कर रहा है. सारे लिम्स हमेशा काम करते रहते हैं. लेकिन अगर कोई बोले, सारे पार्ट्स अगर बोले कि मैं पेट को खाना देना बंद करता हूं, मैं काम नहीं करूंगा, मैं चलूंगा नहीं, मैं देखूंगा नहीं, मैं चबाऊंगा नहीं, तो क्या होगा? पेट में खाना नहीं जाएगा तो फिर ऑटोमेटिकली जितने भी हमारे शरीर के अंग हैं वो सूख जाएंगे, धीरे धीरे शिथिल हो जाएंगे. तो उसी तरीके से जब सोसाइटी भगवान को भूलती है, जितने भी तरीके के रोग, जितने भी तरीके के गंदी, जितने भी तरीके बैड एलिमेंट्स है, उससे पूर्ण रूप से प्रकोपित हो जाता है वो सोसाइटी. वही हम लोग अभी देख रहे हैं. जैसे कलयुग आगे बढ़ रहा है, संसार में इतने सारे बैड एलिमेंट्स का प्रकोप बढ़ क्यों रहा है? बिकॉज people are not doing yagyas. Yagyas means the activities for the satisfaction of Supreme Lord Narayana Vishnu, or Yagya Purusha. So that's why there is a problem. But simply by satisfying the Supreme Lord, everything for the humankind will be available, and humankind will be perfectly happy. So this is actually the concept of yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. अगर उसको satisfy करो तो पूरा संसार satisfy हो सकता है. Forget about the particular living entity. So this is the concept, this is the radical concept Srila Prabhupada wanted to establish all over the world. And he wants his followers also to make this a concrete reality, to make this impression upon the living entities that how by serving Krishna and satisfying Krishna, whole world can be happy. And the only problem with the people is they want to enjoy other than Krishna, not keeping Krishna as their business partner. They just don't want Krishna and any other stuff like God or something. They just simply want to enjoy. And they end up breaking their nose, mouth, teeth, head, and simply they get to troubles and sufferings. They thought of getting so many enjoyment, but they end up getting something else. So this is the concept of consciousness that Srila Prabhupada describes in this particular purport, and then Srila Prabhupada tells there are absolute truth. And what is that absolute truth? That is actually subject matter of Bhagavad Gita, जिसमें ईश्वर, जीव, काल, कर्म, प्रकृति इन पांचों को अगर एक साथ कर दिया जाए तो ये हो गया absolute truth. This is the absolute truth. Nothing is beyond this. Everything is into this. Everything is into this. In whole material universe, there is nothing beyond these five things, which is actually subject matter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, or Bhagavad Gita. So, of course, we have another set of five features of absolute truth as Panch Tattva, as आप लोग जानते होंगे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. So these five principles ultimately actually comes to this. Everything is there. Whatever five things we are discussing, particularly here in Bhagavad Gita, those all things are there in those Panch Tattva also. So Ishvara is Supreme Lord, Supreme Lord, Lord Chaitanya. Then we have Jiva as Srivas Thakur, Kala is another name of Lord Shiva. Kal, जैसे महाकाल जिसका नाम है वही Lord Shiva है. So Advaitacharya is there. Prakriti is there as Srimati Radharani or Gadadhar Pandit. Lord Nityanand, karma is something temporary, which is actually just for the sake of this material world. So karma is not there with them. But almost everything is there. So absolute truth is having these five components in Bhagavad Gita and five features, which is actually manifested as Panch Tattva. And then Srila Prabhupada tells in particular, exert complete realization of absolute truth. तो शायद आपको पता होगा ये complete realization. पहला realization है ब्रह्मन, दूसरा realization है परमात्मा और तीसरा realization है भगवान. Okay. So ब्रह्मन, परमात्मा and भगवान बहुत ही simple concept है, बहुत ही simple concept है. ब्रह्मन मतलब कि the light feature of Supreme Godhead, the light. तो ब्रह्मण मतलब कि simply light. तो ये लाइट किनके लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, जो कि मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में बहुत सारे कृत्यों को करने के बाद बहुत फ्रस्ट्रेशन को प्राप्त करते हैं और अंततः सोचते हैं कि बहुत हो गया, ठीक है, कुछ नहीं है, मजा नहीं आ रहा है, ठीक है. Now we want some type of liberation or some type of relief from this material world. So then they approach some impersonal aspect or impersonal commodity or impersonal object upon which to meditate upon, and that is light. And then the proverb tamsoma jyotirgama that actually takes place as Upanishadic proverb tamsoma jyotirgama is very, very relevant to those people, those who are actually beaten up, left, right, up, down, everywhere by the material nature. And tamsoma jyotirgama मृत्युमा अमृतम गमा, और इस तरह के श्लोक उनको बहुत प्यारे लगते हैं. तो उनके लिए ब्रह्मन रियलाइजेशन इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप इनटू द रियलाइजेशन ऑफ एब्सोल्यूट ट्रूथ. और उससे भी आगे बढ़ते हैं तो आता है सेकंड रियलाइजेशन, दैट्स कॉल्ड परमात्मा रियलाइजेशन. परमात्मा मतलब द विष्णु फॉर्म ऑफ द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड स्टेइंग इन एवरीवन्स हार्ट. दैट इज एक्चुअली परमात्मा. when living entity starts being more closer to the Supreme Godhead in the personal form, personal way. So then he comes to the Paramatma realization. And but that's not the end. And from ever Paramatma, he comes to ever level of Bhagwan after some many years. Some many years he may come to the level of Bhagwan. Then he becomes even more closer in the relationship with Supreme Godhead, even more closer. So slowly coming from Brahman to Paramatma and Bhagwan. So Prabhupada gives this example to elaborate this particular concept as passing of train from a remote train station, and from a remote train station a train is seen, like in the like previous around 60-70 years before, trains were steam driven. And if somebody is there in the, like nowadays the fog is so much fog is there around everywhere in the morning time, and morning time around 4 o'clock, if somebody has to see the train, then far off you will see behind the fog there's some little light is only coming. And if a small little kid the first time is if he is seeing the train, then he will conclude what the train is nothing but this light, a big light. Then it will come slow, then the sound will come also, then it will come little more closer, then whole train, all the set of bogies will be able to be seen, right? So that is called Paramatma realization, when the whole everything is being seen, but there is no personal activity or personal relationship. And if that man who has come with his kid, he is actually waiting for a particular relative who is coming from far off station, and that relative comes out from that train, and he gets handshake with him, right? So Saurabh Adhikari, thank you so much for coming for today's Bhakti Meetup Weekly. So then that's happens the personal relationship. So ultimately, the culmination of train's arrival on particular station ends up with what? Meeting with a friend. Similarly, this path of progressive path to reach to the absolute truth ends up with Bhagwan realization, in which any living entity can realize his relationship with Supreme God and Bhagwan in one of the 5 relationships: as a servant, as a friend, as a parent, or as a lover. So how wonderful is that? So all those relationships are actually live and tangible. It's not just abstract. In the spiritual world, in the progressive march of realizing complete absolute truth. So now I will conclude here. Today we discuss what is consciousness. There are 2 types of consciousness: perverted and clear natural consciousness. Perverted consciousness means मैं हूँ सृष्टा और मैं हूँ भोगी. I am the creator and I am the enjoyer. But the real consciousness is I am created and I am enjoyed. That's a perfect consciousness in which living entity can be perfectly happy in the supreme shelter of Supreme Lord. Then we saw the absolute truth, 5 things, which is actually constants the absolute truth. Okay. And then we have complete realization of absolute truth, Bhagwan, Paramatma, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan, the progressive path of realization of absolute truth. And we are so very fortunate that we are actually in the process of directly coming in contact with Bhagwan. And that's Bhakti Yoga. Chanting the holy name of Lord Hari every day. Following 4 regulative principles. It's quite very simple. But many times it becomes so simple, too simple, so that people miss it. People sometimes simple things, they feel like, no, it can't be so much effective because it's so simple. But it's simple, but not easy also. So Bhagwan realization is only achievable only by bhakti. Bhakti can be done anywhere, any place. But it is so simple that we could even miss it. So we should be very, very cautious not to miss the opportunity of doing Bhakti Yoga, whatever situation in our life throws. And life, business is only one thing to it. Keep throwing so many malwares upon you, so many bugs. It will keep coming. But all those will go, for sure, 100% sure. But if bhakti is there, then all the way we can go also to the eternal kingdom of God. Never to come back again to just become the recipient of so many different malwares keep coming into our system and being annoyed one after another, one after another. Okay. So now we have the second and last session of today's discussion. That is chanting together. Hare Krishna. If all of you are enthusiastic to take part into this session, chanting together, please write down in the chat box enthusiastic or ENTH. Hare Krishna. So I request all of you, please write in the chat box ENTH. Okay, thank you so much, Puranjay, Amar, and hopefully all of you are writing. Sumit Prabhu also. Suyas Prabhu. So, okay, thank you so much. So, you can chant at your own place. Even you can keep your mic muted, no problem. So we shall chant this. Hopefully everybody know that beginning mantra. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Destarini Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna some little news about Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution. So maybe some of you might be knowing or some of you not. This is the time, December 1st till January, first week of January. This is the time in which all those devotees all over the world, devotees and well-wishers, everyone, they come out from their comfort zone to give out their relatives, their friends, their colleagues, everyone. They find a Bhagavad Gita copy. Okay, so this is called Bhagavad Gita Marathon. It's already going on all over the world, to reach out people, new people, old people. I mean, most of the time, new people, to meet their, their right of mercy that is actually flowing from Sita Mayapur, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. So we are out here distributing from Mayapur already, all over India. Practically, we are distributing Bhagavad Gitas through buses all over India. Devotees are out distributing books, as well as here we are in Durgapur, particularly from base. I'm going every day practically to distribute books. I go to different places like City Center, Benachiti, and here every door to door knocking and waking up the living entities to get their Bhagavad Gita copies. So I request all of you that from your side, wherever you are, try to distribute books, your friends, your colleagues, your relatives, जो कोई भी है. So be little bold and give out the best of the gift that we can give. And it's not something to be ashamed of now. There is no curtain. Everybody knowing the glories of Bhagavad Gita. Best of the scientists has appreciated it. And now practically most of the good universities, they are teaching this Bhagavad Gita as it is, as their course curriculum. So it will be a very wonderful opportunity for all of us to take part into this Bhagavad Gita marathon. So you can find, you can think, you can contemplate who can be the recipient of the mercy, and just send me the address, and I will be very happy, more than happy to dispatch Bhagavad Gitas to your places, and very easily you can actually hand over those Bhagavad Gitas. So thank you so much all of you for joining us today. And I like to just all of you to unmute yourself so that we could chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once together. And today is my so-called birthday or bad day, whatever you can say. So let us chant together for all of us betterment and betterment of the whole world. So long as we are here in this world, we could keep radiating the mercy of the Supreme Lord Hari and enlivening many living entities wherever, whenever we meet with them and have a talk with them or anything. Okay, so just unmute yourself. Some of devotees are still muted. You can your face also. That will be very nice. And then I can have a snapshot. And anyway, this video. Okay, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama.
Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, thank you so much. All of you, please show your face. Some devotees are still feeling shy. I don't know why they're feeling shy. Okay. So yes, Prabhu, Amia Prabhu, Sumit Prabhu is showing me fountain. Okay, nice. Thank you. Thank you for coming out from comfort zone. To just turn on the video also, it seems to be like coming out from great comfort zone. Okay, thank you so much. So here it goes. I just take a snapshot. Okay, taken. Thank you so much, all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Okay, so all those questions, answers can be done in Telegram group. And if you need some particular personal questions, so now I am free on phone. Okay, Hare Krishna.